Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat. Today we're going over removal in Commander. So what is removal? Removal is a spell or ability that is used to remove permanents from play permanently. Let me give you some examples. Effects that destroy the permanent, such as Doomblade. Effects that can deal damage to a creature, such as Lightning Bolt. Effects that can reduce a creature's toughness, such as Last Gasp. Effects that could exile a permanent, such as Swords to Plowshares. Effects that force a permanent's controller to sacrifice it, such as Cruel Edict. Effects that move or tuck the creature to a generally inaccessible place, such as Bant Charm. Now that we know what removal is, let's talk about how Magic the Gathering makes up the CMC of a card, with what a removal spell can do. What I mean by this is, if a removal spell like Naturalize costs 1 and a green, it costs 1 mana for each thing it can do, like being able to destroy an artifact or enchantment. So you would think the more versatile a card is, the more mana it would cost, right? Well, yes and no. There are special cases like Wilt and Return to Nature. They cost the same as Naturalize, they do the same thing and more. Nature's Claim, it costs 1 green, but we give the controller 4 life. So it can be seen as a setback giving our opponent that 4 life, but we get a cheaper Naturalize. So we can see Magic values 4 life to be a colorless mana compared to Naturalize, and I think this is very interesting. In Commander we're usually okay with losing 4 life, but are we okay with giving our opponent 4 life? When a removal spell becomes more specific, we often find the mana cost will be cheaper. Murder is a classic creature removal for black, but if we get more specific, we have Cast Down, where we can only target non-legendary creatures, but the mana cost is 1 black cheaper. Fatal Push, it only costs 1 black, but it can destroy a creature with CMC 2 or less. Unless a permanent we controlled left the battlefield, then we can destroy target creature with 4 CMC or less. As long as we meet certain requirements, we can end up paying a really low cost for a removal spell. Now we have to talk about Desert Twister and why it's a horrible removal spell. It costs 6 mana, and it's a sorcery. It does let you destroy any permanent, I'll give it that, but compared to Beast Within, it's worthless. Beast Within is 3 mana, it's an instant, it destroys any permanent, but it gives the controller a 3/3 beast. Initially this can seem bad, and when I was just starting to play Magic I was confused as to why I would give my opponent a creature. They could end up dealing me damage with that 3/3 beast. But once I got out of that mindset, I was able to realize Beast Within costs 3 mana and it's an instant. This is a great spell to have in the deck compared to Desert Twister. What I'm trying to convey is don't be afraid to give your opponent what seems to be an advantage, because if it costs us less mana, it will be worth it. When it comes to blue in Magic, we all think of counter spells. So let's talk about counterspell. It costs 2 blue, has no restrictions, it can counter any spell. Then we have Negate. It's the same CMC, but it's a colorless and a blue rather than 2 blue. But this can only target non-creature spells. Then there's the odd blue spell, Pongify. For 1 blue we can destroy a target creature, and we give the controller a 3/3 green ape. Some of the removal in white that's well known as Disenchant. For 1 and a white we can destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Then we get to cards that are also removal that cost the same mana, like Serene Offering is also 1 and a white. Destroy target enchantment, and we gain life equals that enchantment's total casting cost. So Magic is valuing an artifact to gaining life to the enchantment's CMC. Aura Blast is also 1 and a white. It's an instant. Destroy target enchantment, draw a card. So instead of an artifact we have draw a card. Allay, it's 1 and a white. It's an instant. It has buyback for 3. Destroy target enchantment. So buyback for 3 mana is valued the same as destroying an artifact for them, which I think this is very interesting. For 1 more mana we have Frantic Purification for 2 and a white. It's destroy target enchantment, and it has Madness for white, so if we happen to discard it we can cast it for 1 white. But it only targets an enchantment, so again, they're valuing Madness for 1 white over an artifact. So in summary, removal in EDH is all across Magic. Every color has its own type of removal. I just wanted to touch on how we can spend our mana a little more, a little less, and is it worth it to give our opponent slight advantage for us to pay less mana? Thank you guys for listening on this Magic talk. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.